Porsche 992 on the Nürburgring, and it's wet. We started in the pits because if you've any experience racing in the wet, you know that turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 8, 9 and 10 are fucking chaos. Apologies for the language, but I felt as though I really needed to emphasise why I was starting in the pits. Already, turn 2, pink Porsche, move! For the rest of the video, I promise I'll grow up a little bit. Now that we're around the pig parade, we can start and get a feel for the Porsche 992 in the wet. This whole video will be POV. You'll see my flawless racing logic, flawless overtakes, and flawless mistakes, unfortunately. 90% of the race is clean, solid, and probably educational if you wanted to race in the wet. I will show the 10% where I do make my cock-ups, but I do recover pretty well. Hope you enjoy. Porsche in front probably understeers, forcing him to a wide line, taking advantage of the tight line, just taking it steady in the puddle on the curb. Yes, I'm in a slipstream, but being the first time I'm racing this car in the wet, I'm going to take it steady for the first lap and a half or so. However, driving steady or not, I do close a massive gap on the Porsche in front. I decide to initiate an overtake. After all, I didn't need to take as much of a tight line as I did. Next Porsche. He says I'm not having any of this. It's probably his first time in the Porsche in the rain too. He's also probably thinking, this guy's a lunatic, let him get on with it. Racing in the wet, I have 4 simple rules to follow. Obviously, if you're professional, you've got your own rules. If you're just getting into sim racing, or just not used to racing in the wet, these 4 rules may help you too. I'll go over the 4 rules through the video when I feel as though they're applying to the situation that they're in. Now let's catch the next Porsche. Starting with rule number 1. Treat puddles like ice. Driving cars to their limit through a puddle will make it act like ice. You'll have no grip to do what you want to do. You can drive through them, just don't drive the car hard through them. So for example, if you are driving around a tight bend, probably best to avoid it. If you are not pushing the car near the limits, keep the car straight as possible. Don't harshly brake, don't harshly accelerate, you'll probably be fine. Did you notice on those last few bends, I didn't take the normal racing line that I would if it was dry. I take the corners a little wider, avoiding the puddles collecting around the curbs. Now, in the wet, curbs can be extremely slippy too, so sometimes it's best to avoid them. I start slowing off quite early here, even considering this is wet. Not because I'm backing out, but because it looks as though there's already 2 wide. Now if there's going to be an accident, it's probably going to be around here. It's not forced to be, but I definitely don't want to add to 2 and cause destruction. And there we are, look, some guy on the right just parked up. Car park there, mate! Right now the window wiper would be very useful. I don't know why I didn't turn it on at this point. You 2 can't park there either. Rule number 2. Don't force a fast entry or a fast exit. If you think you're going slower than you should be, don't worry. It's much faster than forcing a faster exit and then just having to recover from a crash. You will see a perfect example of this later on. Rule number 3, and it ties in very nicely with rule number 1 and 2. Disregarding puddles in this rule, I want you to drive just like it's dry. But imagine watching a video and you have control of the playback speed. Driving or watching the video in the dry, you watch the video with the playback speed set to 1, just normal. Normal playback speed. Driving in the wet, I want you to imagine that you are making that video playback at half the speed. So setting it to 0.5. That translates to smoother pedal impulse, smoother steering wheel impulse, no jerks, no forcing fast corner exits or anything similar. Driving in the wet you have much less grip, so taking longer on your steering wheel and your pedal impulse respects those physics. Entering the last long straight in the Nürburgring, we can talk about rule number 4, which is the most important rule in sim racing in the wet. And rule number 4 is very simple, the simplest of them all. You treat every other driver like they are driving on dead tyres. Their tyres are worn, dead to the world, no longer usable, they should be illegal. That's how I want you to treat every other driver in the wet. And that is exactly why I give the position back at the end of the straight. Turns out that he may have had a problem with his tyres because he just drove into the pits. Do you remember how slow Pig Parade went around that bend? Yeah, that was very frustrating. As you can see, there's a fair gap between me and the next Porsches, so I'll start driving the Porsche a little bit harder than I'm quite comfortable with. I do get away with it this lap. Stick around if you want to see my cock up later. Starting with the pits, I had a lot of places to make up for. If I remember rightly, I'm around P8 right now, which to be honest is pretty impressive in the wet, I think anyway. Let me know if you disagree. While we're waiting for me to close the gap on the Porsches in front, I'd just like to add how impressed I am with the Porsche 992 in the wet, especially with the traction control and ABS. In the wet, it is actually a very forgiving car, and if you're trying to get used to racing in the wet, I do suggest starting with this car. A little side rule, call it rule number 5 if you like, and this doesn't apply to just racing in the wet, so cut some slack. Our rules were based on wet racing only. Get used to driving with no racing line. The racing line is suboptimal. It will slow you down at first, but as you get used to racing without the racing line, you'll find an even better line that suits you, and in the long term it will make you faster, I promise. Look at that for a little drifty poos in the Porsche and save at the end. A little tip for the guys that are probably new to racing in the wet. Once you are comfortable that you're no longer understeering into a corner and you get enough rotation for your car to go around the corner, just tickle that accelerator. All that is going to do, and I mean tickle it, is put a little bit more weight onto the back tyres, shoving them into the road, actually reducing the chances of you oversteering. Now don't hammer it because it will shove you into an oversteer if your wheels spin up. If your wheels don't spin up, it will just push you into a very bad understeer and you'll go off track. this time I finally put the window wiper on. Remember rule number 4, treat every other driver like they're on dead tyres. Seeing that this guy is struggling, I give him a little kiss on the carousel, just to say, "Hey mate, I've caught you up, it's time for me to come past." He lets me pass without putting up too much of a fight. Well, to be honest, no fight at all. All that I need to do now is overtake this next Porsche and I'll secure 6th place as long as I don't cock up. I do actually cock up a little bit later, but I recover really well. It's worth seeing. Try and over-rotate the car here and cock up. This one's minor compared to the next one. 26. Can we hold it? Can you remember the rules? I kind of forgot about them on this next corner. Might be down, but search they're not out. On the last lap, it's time to get those 2 positions back quick. Promise this is my last goggle. Pits to P6. Thanks for watching.